Lamer Gamers. This is Simply Travis and
Rowdy 5000
for the official podcast of the Lamers and Working Class Gamers. Welcome to the Lamer Gamers January Newscast.
It's gonna be a long one.
Oh my gosh, we got breaks that we're gonna have to take, and we're gonna be out of breath sometimes. Just deal with it, and our noses are probably stopped up a little bit too. But because the weather out here is wet,
But the weather is
yes.
but.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. All right, this episode is part of the service we provide for the people who don't have time to keep up with all the news and the Twitters and the Reddits and all those other things. We're going to break down the top news from the month for each console, and I think we got PC like a miscellaneous section.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the miscellaneous.
Rowdy won't let me look at it yet.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
So we're hiding things from each other.
My notes, they're great.
So you can get our personal reactions, as you would say. All right. Along with, in each of these sections, we're going to include the most convincing rumors, the most ridiculous fake gaming news, the games that release for January, and even some games to look forward to in February. And occasionally we might read a comment from Metacritic that is ridiculous for those. Now that we have a cartoonishly large load of gaming news loaded up in our podcasting cannons, as if we are Wile E. Coyote going after the Roadrunner.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's time to get started on the news.
Do they have like an Acme theme song?
They should have one. Need some crashing and explosions.
I might make one in post.
We will see.
Maybe. If you hear a comically sounding song,
Imagine it here. If
I
it's
actually
not there.
did it, and if
Yeah.
if it's not there, just imagine it.
We only have 2 days to get this out, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. Go ahead and we're gonna start with the first thing we're doing is gaming delays, because you've been waiting so long for these delays and these games. It seems like nearly everything we're looking forward to this year has been.
No. Hang on.
What?
Well, we got some breaking Sony news.
But the delays.
No. We got to get it out right now. Seriously.
Fine then. Where's our breaking news music, Rowdy? Before we get started with the breaking Sony news, I want to Really, Rowdy? This is what we're doing here? You know what? You just do it.
Okay. Before we get started with the breaking Sony news, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at ParallaxMedia.one. They are a good old gaming journalism website that has decided to help spread our podcast around to the masses, so drop by and check these guys out. So, I know we were talking about delays, but I had to get in here with some of this breaking Sony news.
What is this amazing Sony news you're speaking of?
All right, so first off, we've got a logo.
This is what this is the breaking news.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the logo.
The logo that the next Sony system is called
The PS5.
That's not breaking news, Rowdy. We
Well,
just delayed the delays to talk about this.
Well, I mean, it's not news for us. I mean, that's like comfort food for shareholders, man.
I guess. I mean,
They
it's the
see
same
that-
exact thing.
Yeah, man.
It's just another one, and the logos. You know, it's safe.
the PS4
Shareholders
is the
love safe.
second highest selling home console, only behind the PS2.
I guess you got a point, but I don't
mean,
see that as breaking news.
It recently beat the Wii, which is crazy. So, with the shareholders seeing this, it's super comfortable to see that same logo. Well, just with a 5 at the end now. So to them, that's huge news, especially for their pockets.
Haha. All right, what's next on your list? Let's see if it gets any better.
Oh, it actually does get way
Oh,
better.
good. So this is Sony news. I'm not very good with Sony news because I don't have a PlayStation.
Well, this one, it has people kind of divided.
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC.
I'm super excited about that.
So,
And I've annoyed so many people on Twitter because I was just like, I know some people are angry, but I'm really excited. And I got called terrible things.
yes,
They called me a Xbox thought.
an X thought.
I swear I don't understand this, and I don't want to explain what that term means to people that don't know it, but I'm a very large, hairy man with a beard. It doesn't fit. I didn't understand it, but anyway.
Well, people always have the weirdest names. So apparently there's
Yeah.
an X thought. I have been called a Sony pony.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Sony Pony Brony Rowdy?
I will punch you in the neck.
All right.
So
Let's keep
so
going.
basically, like, to me, this is awesome because I actually have a lot of friends who really enjoy playing on PC and don't
Yeah.
really play on anything else. And Horizon Zero Dawn already looked absolutely amazing on my launch PS4. So I can only imagine how good it looks on the Pro or on a high-end gaming PC. Casey, the guy that's helping us out with video work and stuff like that, he has a high-end gaming PC. I mean, so one of those Titan RTX 2080s, like solid state hard drives, all that good stuff. I mean, it's quick. It looks great. Almost cursed there.
Yeah, good job.
But so this is also one of my favorite games for this generation. Like, it was a new IP. Everybody was kind of like, I don't know. The story was absolutely phenomenal. It kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time, man. I didn't see a lot of turns coming.
I get to play it.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. It's awesome. Some people compared it to Zelda.
That's generally what I saw. And I mean, even whenever they announced it at an E3 forever ago, they were kind of like, it's Sony Zelda
And I mean, I could kind of
with
see that.
robots and
I mean,
a lady.
It's open world.
Of course, everybody was also saying that Zelda is a lady, but Link was going to be a woman around that same time. So
well, they did have Linkle.
yes. Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah. All right,
But,
sorry, I'm interrupting.
Well, no, but this is announced not long after Death Stranding announced that it was going to PC. Now, Death Stranding wasn't a PS exclusive,
Right.
but it was still surprising that it's going to PC.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, could this be Sony's answer to Microsoft being so friendly with everybody?
Everybody, man, that is true because right now Microsoft is everywhere. They even want to be around, like hanging out with Nintendo.
Yeah. So they're doing a whole lot with Nintendo, and Sony has been bridging with PC a lot.
So if you
lately.
haven't been keeping up with the gaming news at all, which is kind of the purpose of this one, the next gen is surprisingly going to be very open. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of cross-platform stuff going on. We'll see if that continues beyond this like happy little, honeymoon period between everybody. Are they going to kind of separate a little bit? Which Microsoft has kind of said, like, this ain't going to last forever. Y'all
Yeah.
Because they need to get back in the game because they're like at the bottom of the rung. So they're throwing out everything they can to keep their system in there.
Well, and a lot of the stuff that is going multi-platform from Microsoft companies or studios is because they were working on it prior to being bought out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they kind of don't want to upset people by saying, oh, now you have to have an Xbox to play this game that you've been waiting for. But at the same time, it is kind of an olive branch. So a side effect of buying these studios is other people are cool with it coming out on multiple platforms.
Which, I mean, I'm, as somebody that doesn't have a PS4, super excited. Now, the one thing that I do have an issue with PC gaming is that I always feel like there's a better experience if I spend another $3,000.
Oh, there is.
And I don't like that idea. So that's generally why I'm more of a console person, but I have a PC that I use for graphic design that's going to be, of course, wonderful to play this game in at least 1080p. Kind of want to see it in 4K, though.
So basically, I have a Mac for all of my recording purposes, business purposes, things like that. I have a PC that I use basically for old Steam games.
Right.
There are a lot of games that, like, if I sell off a console, but it's also a PC game, like, I'll buy it for dirt cheap on Steam just so that I can play it later. But I don't use it for new games because my PC could not play some of the new games, like Control
the
and
new
things
games
like that.
too. You're about to see a major generation of CPU change going on. So expect things to get a little bit different soon in the next gen.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what's next on your list?
Man, we got sidetracked. Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to happen a lot, I think.
Yeah, we're trying to keep each section to 30 minutes. We'll see if that happens.
So IGN has reported that The Last of Us almost had an animated movie. As spotted by Nerd4.life. I guess that's the web.
Sure.
Whatever. The images were uploaded as part of a portfolio page on Oddfellow's website. I don't know what Oddfellow is.
So would you say this is more of like a rumor?
No, I've seen pictures of it.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, no. There were actually pictures from it, and it is Last of Us. Like it was the characters, like the monsters from it. Like it's straight. It looks almost like American artists tried to make an anime.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's not always bad.
Right. It's not bad.
But where
I
was
see children try to make things anime all the time that are from America. So
yeah. So the studio was working in collaboration with Sony to create a strong bridge between the original game and The Last of Us Part 2. The short film would act as a previously on to allow both new and old fans to catch up on the story.
Okay.
So this would have been cool because I was going to try and play The Last of Us again before Last of Us 2 came out. Because it's an amazing game. I absolutely loved it. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough time because I have put so much time into The Witcher.
Yeah, that's been like your thing lately, man.
Dude, I've stopped playing Pokemon. I've stopped playing everything just to play The Witcher. I need to put it down for a little bit and finish Pokemon.
I actually started Pokemon. I bought it.
That's so awesome, man. Oh, but no. So Last of Us Part 2 is one of my top releases for this year. Like, it got delayed a little bit, but we'll go into that later.
Yeah.
But I am super, super excited about it. Can't wait for it. Would have been cool, but I'm not too upset about it not coming out.
So this next one that I see on here.
Okay, so footage of the PS5 exclusive Gearbox game.
Looter slasher. That's fun.
Looter slasher.
A looter slasher. So that's kind of
well, it's made by Gearbox, people who made Borderlands.
Oh, okay. So they're a looter shooter.
Yes. So this is a looter slasher. So it's going to be all melee. It's kind of like, I guess I could kind of compare it to, well, I haven't seen anything. I haven't looked up the footage.
Right.
But I guess you could compare it to like Diablo or something. I mean, it's a looter slasher.
Yeah, it's going to be PS5, but it doesn't.
Yes, it's a PS5 exclusive. Oh, sorry. The game is called Godfall.
Godfall.
I didn't even make it that far.
We didn't even tell you what it is. It's made by these people. It's called Godfall.
But the footage was linked to the internet. So it turns out the footage has been deemed legitimate by the Godfall team. But
you got to believe everything on the internet. That's the axiom in life.
But they were quick to let everyone know that the footage shown is a PC build from 1 year ago and is not a representation of the PS5 hardware.
Gotcha.
So, because people saw this and they were like, that is not impressive.
So this next thing that's on your list, I'd imagine you're going to buy, right?
No.
Really? Mr. Controller himself?
Yeah, no, I'm not getting it.
So tell me why. So the next thing on the list.
So the back button adapter was released for the DualShock 4 controller. So the reason why I'm not going to get this is just because I have played so long without the back buttons. I don't need it.
I'm too good for it. I'm
well,
too pro.
It's not that I'm like
a programmable back button.
I'm not like too good or too pro for anything, but I can't think of any situation in any game that I currently play where I would need to program it.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Whenever you're trying to do a finishing move,
I don't play many fighting games.
I don't play that many anymore either. If I'm playing a fighting game nowadays, it is not to be competitive. I do occasionally like Smash. Like I'd play competitive, but I don't have that time.
Yeah.
Except for in the summer, and it's just when people are like, "Hey, you want to play a fighting game?" It's like, okay.
Yeah, but basically the reviews have come out, and it's been called functional.
All right, that's totally okay.
Most people that play with it say it's good. It works fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you expect people to be like, "Oh my gosh, it's mind-bendingly amazing"?
I mean, I think that's what some people were expecting. They wanted to see reviews. They were like, "Oh my god, it's the greatest thing ever!"
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of like what I said. Like people are saying pretty much the same thing, that they've played so long without it. There's not really a need for it.
Now, I have seen the rumor going around.
Yes. So the rumor is that the DualShock 4 controller will be compatible with PS5, which will maybe have back buttons.
Yeah, I think that's the ongoing rumors that the PlayStation 5 is going to have this. So all these games that they're going to be pushing onto the PS5, which I would assume is going to have PS Now.
Oh, yeah.
They need to go ahead and start implementing this back button compatibility into.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what the PS5 is going to be.
Well, and
It's
this
gonna have back buttons.
this is going to be a cheaper way of getting new
Yeah.
controllers, just because if it works, if the DualShock 4 works,
Yeah.
that's the name of the controller, by the way.
Sure.
I don't know if you knew that.
What is
The DualShock 4 is the name of the controller for
so
the
the next one
PlayStation
is going to be the DualShock.
5. Unless they come up with some new name.
You've
which I
seen their
doubt.
new logo. You saw
yeah.
the breaking news.
So
There's nothing else going on. At least these people can number better than Capcom. So,
oh my god, that is true.
Yeah, could you just imagine if they named it? The first one was the PlayStation 2.
No,
No,
oh my
yeah.
god, that would be awful. I've actually seen people call the PS1
PSX.
the
right?
PSX.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy when we get up to the 10th PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
And it's going to happen, by the way,
it
because they're
looks
not
like
changing the name ever.
It just looks like a cheaper way to keep up, because I mean I know that PS5 controller is going to cost a lot.
Yeah.
So this is $30, I think, $25, $30.
Yeah.
You could just add the back buttons on yourself.
Extra nubs.
It's fine.
All right.
So this is probably my big one for the PlayStation
the
news.
big news.
Maybe not.
Were you expecting them to not be at E3?
Well, I mean, they're not going to E3, but I thought that maybe because they have a new console coming out
Mm-hmm.
that they might, but they're not. So what do I think about this? I think it's a good idea. Nintendo, EA, and a few other developers have stepped back. And, you know, they don't have this huge presence anymore, but
That is
they
right.
do have kind of like little, small little video presentations, but it's not big things like Microsoft or Ubisoft do every
Right.
year.
And they totally ruined the last couple of them. You remember the one in the church?
Oh, God.
For
That was
what is it? Was
All
it
from
Last of Us?
Us 2.
Yeah, man. I mean,
And
they
then-
don't understand acoustics. They don't understand how to properly, like, I mean, they treated the journalists, who are the people that are going to take your concepts and ideas and shoot them out to the masses, and they're like shuffling them around like cattle.
Yes, so they had to shuffle them from like this little makeshift church they
Yeah.
made into the Coliseum, only to put them in Coliseum Auditorium.
Yeah.
Only for them to sit through another musical interlude for the game Ghost of Tsushima, and they had the weird dude playing the wooden flute. I mean, it was awful.
bad. Sony is
Awful.
not very good at they're not very good at like theatrics.
No.
They are actually not very good at Sony State of Play, which is what really worries me here.
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
Because Sony State of Play is boring. I mean, it's informational, I guess.
Sean Layden, the guy who recently left Sony.
Right. Sony did have a big change. We talked about that a couple
He-
episodes ago.
He's a great person to have up there
Mhm.
talking. He's a great presenter and everything. And I bet he was against this stuff.
Yeah.
And because apparently there was some behind the scenes stuff, and he was really frustrated with everything going on, and then he left.
Mm-hmm.
Had they kept Sean Layden as a presenter, I mean, they might be going. But let's get into some others behind the scenes stuff with E3. So I put in these notes to do yourself a favor and look up the leaked info about what the ESA is trying to do with E3.
Oh, no.
So there was some behind the scenes stuff. They were talking about the head honcho of the ESA being a complete butt to everybody.
It's Rowdy's new favorite word this podcast. I like it.
And they were talking about how they could try and change E3 to make it more popular, because since the internet's gotten, everywhere, it's
Really?
it's easier
It's in
to
my
see.
refrigerator. Well, no, it's not in my refrigerator yet.
I mean, it can be.
It's in all my light bulbs right now.
It's in my light bulbs.
Yeah.
I can control them from your house.
I can control mine from your house.
Yeah,
I can lock my door.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So the internet's like everywhere. So it's not hard to find out stuff that happens at E3. So there's really no incentive to go
Right.
into E3 now,
Mhm.
because you can watch it all.
Other than make people in Los Angeles happy.
Well, and the people in Los Angeles aren't that happy about it.
Yeah, I've been out at E3 before, and E3 it's all facade.
So
Yeah.
in these documents that were leaked, it turns out that they are basically trying to turn E3 into an influencer convention.
No!
Some members of the ESA have suggested that members of the LA Lakers play against professional streamers in a basketball game.
Once again, no!
Not to mention, they leaked all the personal information of the game's journalists that attended the convention last year. Some of them are still very salty about it.
Oh my gosh, this is such a bad.
When I say personal information, I don't mean like an email got out.
Yeah.
Addresses, phone numbers. Crazed fans have shown up at people's houses.
Well, you can't release you can't keep anything secret nowadays, and it's terrible. I mean, that's why I've been on this podcast, I've been kind of adamant, like, I love the rumors and the concept of the fake gaming news because there's so much out there that people that are small time people leak, quote unquote, that is completely false, and people will believe it. If there's like one little iota of truth, they think they're just gods. So anyway,
oh man,
so what actually released this month? I guess that's the next segment on the PlayStation 5.
You know what? I didn't put down anything that released this month.
Oh, snap.
That's my bad.
Okay, well, we'll talk about what's happening next month.
Upcoming releases, which a lot of these are also coming out for other systems as well.
Yeah, they actually have quite a lot coming out next month. So tell me, the first one sounds boring.
Monster Energy Supercross 3, the official video game.
Okay, I'm confused. Is this I'd imagine there are cars in this, but I feel like I'm going to be driving around on a monster can with wheels.
Dude, I think there's like dirt bikes, cars, there's all kind of stuff. And by the way, this is a full price game.
Not for me. What's next?
The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics.
That's kind of cool, actually. I could see your wife excited about this.
Well,
does she like the Dark?
She loves the Dark Crystal, but this kind of game is not her kind of game.
If you don't know what the Dark Crystal is, it's an old, like, what, Jim Henson?
Jim Henson did it in
movie?
the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this and you're young and you don't have any clue what we're talking about.
Well, this is based off the new Netflix show.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, you do know what we're talking about more than I do then.
Yeah, so this is based off the new Netflix show, which is actually a prequel to the movie.
So it's basically Dark Crystal Fire Emblem.
I'd say more Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely Fire Emblem-esque.
This is also coming out on the Xbox.
And Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's coming out on everything.
Yeah.
What's next? Zombie Army 4 Dead War. I'm pretty sure that's like a PC release as well.
And it's also on Xbox. I don't think it's on Switch, but it is. We talked about it in the last episode.
Zombie Army games are pretty fun.
I've never played one.
I don't think this is a full price release either. I think it's like a $40 release.
It looks pretty legit though.
But you could also get the Zombie Army trilogy for dirt cheap.
It's basically a first-person shooter that's kind of tongue-in-cheek zombie game.
I think it's based off the Sniper Elite series.
Yeah,
by the same people.
But I know one of the we had a roundtable last episode, and Mom from the Lamer Gamers community was all about wanting to play this game.
I mean, they're fun, man. I dig them. I probably won't pick it up till like later.
All right, so that's coming out February 4th. By the way, every game we've said so far is coming out February 4th. So that's coming up soon.
My bad. Let's see. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus.
What are they versing?
I think this is a fighting game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Grand Blue is going to be in that kind of series.
Well, that's February 6th.
All right.
Yakuza 5, part of the Yakuza Remaster Collection, is coming out February 11th.
Yakuza is kind of like a Yakuza gang game that's an action game that's kind of weird at times.
Yes. So, well, the thing is, Yakuza 5, that's digital.
It's one of those games that kind of get the kind of stereotypical, like what you'd expect from a weird Japanese game.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like, it's open world, there's fighting, it's got RPG aspects to it.
Like little mini game kind of things that go on. Yeah, they're fun.
So there's a whole lot of them.
Oh, see, they have more Yakuza.
Well, the Yakuza Remastered Collection Day 1 edition, the retail. The reason why this is retail is because this is a collection that has all of the Yakuza games that they've remastered over the past few months. So they've slowly been releasing the remastered versions digitally. This is an all-in-one physical edition as well.
So I see those are February 11th, but the next 4 games you can play with your loved ones on Valentine's Day.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
Darksiders Genesis. That's
For
going
loved ones.
That's going to be Xbox and PC as well.
Yes.
Dreams. That one's going to be awesome. It's actually a $40 release. which I'm surprised.
Then you can go up to the one you love and say, "Hey, you want to play some Street Fighter V Championship Edition?"
Nobody ever says that.
I have. I
mean,
just did.
Never mind.
Okay.
I hate you.
Last one.
Last one on February 14th, Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate. I love the Warriors Orochi series.
Oh, I know you do.
Oh my God, it's so awesome.
If your wife was like, "Hey, Rowdy, I got this Warriors game."
I've already played Warriors Orochi 4 and beat it. But this is the Ultimate Edition, so it's all the DLC and everything added to it.
So if you're listening, Rowdy's wife, you know what to get him. Well, no, he's already gotten it. Okay.
No, I've already gotten it.
Okay. All right, February 18th.
Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th anniversary bundle.
Ooh, that's coming out on the Xbox also.
Those are platinum games.
I don't know this next one on February 18th.
Hunt Showdown? Yeah, I don't know it either.
It sounds generic. February 20th?
Oh, this is definitely an anime game.
Oh, man, look at that. Yeah.
Under Night, In Birth, EXE, Late, CLR.
Like clear?
There's a lot of punctuation in there.
There's a lot of like hacker speaks going on in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
February 25th, you got the Mega Man Zero and ZX Legacy Collection.
I kind of want that.
That's coming out for everything.
Yeah, everything. Your toaster might have it.
I think I'm going to get it on Switch.
Everybody's favorite toaster, the Switch. Yeah.
Also on the 25th, we have 2 Point Hospital.
That sounds like something you'd want. What is
that? It's actually a pretty funny game.
I think it's coming out on the Xbox, but I didn't include it on the list because I had no clue what it was.
I've seen it on PC. It's like a game where it's kind of like a sim game where you build a hospital and then it's comedic as well.
Gotcha.
Let's see. One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows
Also
on February
coming to
28th. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. Coming to PS4, PC, and I'm sure Xbox One as well.
Man.
I don't know, but...
Is it finally time? Can we do the delay news now?
No.
I think it's time. It's time for the delays.
Nope,
What?
it's not.
What?
Nope. Got some Nintendo news now.
Fine then. Nintendo news.
All right.
Next.
Time for a break.
All right, guys. Well, since we're delaying the delays again, before we get started on the latest Nintendo news, we currently have loaded up an favorite little gaming system toaster that could. If you like the stuff we do on the show, make sure to check us out at Lamer Gamers Cast on Twitter, at Lamer Gamers Podcast on Instagram, and throw a review down on Apple Podcast or Podchaser. Right now, I think we were at 4.8 stars on Apple. I think it moved back up to the 5 because there was a dude that said we were too nerdy for 5 stars. He gave us back the star.
Ooh.
Thank you, that one nerd.
Ooh.
That's actually the guy's name. That's pretty awesome. I'm glad he's listening still. All right, guys. Here are... Rowdy, what is this breaking news that we had to know about?
Byleth is in Smash. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
How many freaking Fire Emblem characters are in Smash already?
Not only Fire Emblem characters, but anime-esque sword wielders.
Rowdy, this is not breaking news.
I mean,
Okay.
It kind of is. Did you like Fire Emblem Three Houses?
I did. I think the character makes sense, but for the last character in the DLC pack to pick Byleth?
Dude, there were so many rumors.
Oh, man. The rumors were hilarious, too. There were people that were angry, and I had people, Tanker Drew, or Drufus, he's done some stuff with us for the forcing me to go play Dead Souls 3.
That was funny.
Yeah, he was all about like Dante is releasing. I think that still might be a thing. Yeah, I think
It could be.
I think that's going to happen because they had actually videotaped the entire Byleth announcement before Christmas.
Yeah, like November of last year.
So I think he's going to be in the next pack because they are going to be doing another Fighter's Pass for Smash. 6 more characters. Now, before I kind of jumped into that. But let's go back to Byleth. It's going to be on the version 7.0 release. It's coming in within a week of listening to this podcast. So I think tomorrow.
Okay.
I think, our tomorrow. Soon, there's supposed to be this Byleth is coming to Smash. Now, Byleth is a long distance fighter. If you play Smash Brothers, he is... Now, whenever I say long distance, I don't mean like he's always shooting things. He has like long sword reach. He tends to have like these big, strong explosion kind of moves.
Byleth can also be a female.
That is true. Byleth can be both. Um,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because you get like a lot of the legendary weapons that were in the game.
yeah, I like that idea.
Like you get like the bow
Yeah.
from what's his face with the golden deer. I forget it.
And you can actually make the character look sort of like skins of the main characters, the main protagonists.
Yeah, you know you could
Fire Emblem.
you could change out the what is it? The costumes to be like the three houses.
Yeah.
So you could change them from like the teacher to golden deer to black eagles to blue lions.
Yeah. And you can also be the green-haired god lady.
Well,
Sort of. You can look like.
that's kind of a spoiler if I were to explain the green hair.
Right, that too. We're not going to go into that.
Because it's not technically because of what's her name. It's because of something that happens in the game.
Yeah. Okay, so also make sure this is kind of a PSA if you own Smash, and you might have like a really good recording of that one time you put like a real rightful smackdown on your little bratty kid that was just saying they were going to beat you, and it was just like a fervent, fiery feast of glory that you will make sure is not lost forever. You have to back it up right now. Just saying, because whenever they do it, they do these big updates on Smash. You cannot play your replays in the next major update. So if you have replays of said destruction and totally owning somebody, do it now. All right.
Did you see the Mii costumes they added in this update?
Yeah, there's some crazy Mii ones. I wish I would have written them down.
There was
Cuphead, man.
There was Cuphead.
Yeah.
There was Altair from Assassin's Creed, Mega Man X, Mega Man.exe.
Ooh.
There was one more, I forget.
Yeah, they
But
weren't
then
that
like the
important.
Cuphead one.
Cuphead one was really well done. It looked like a character. Like, it doesn't even look like a Mii.
Yeah, and it adds music to the game.
Right.
Cuphead music. All right,
so
Ultimate Fighter Pass 2, we talked about that. What do you
next up is there was a Pokemon Direct. We're not going to spend much time talking about it here because we did have an episode 2 episodes ago called the Pokemon Indirect and the Gaming Console Wars, where we pretty much go over everything about what happened in the Direct. There's new DLC that's going to make... It's going to anger some people. It's going to make some Pokeboomers like us happy because we're going to see more Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
But some people are angsty and angry about having to pay for it. Now, something that is new, we did talk about how the Pokemon sales were the highest grossing. Well, sales are actually getting to be pretty good. The game is starting to sell. I mean, it's been selling, but it's just been real consistent. So it's going to be one of the best-selling Pokemon now. It's pretty much happening.
Nice.
So if you want to go listen to more of the news about it, you can go directly listen to the Indirect on all fine podcast players, except for iHeartRadio.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I gotta put my jab in at them until they add us on.
I hate them.
All right, next one up is Nintendo Intelligent Systems has more... Well, Nintendo has patents everywhere.
Oh,
okay, yeah, that's where you see a lot of leaks and things from, but there is an information processing patent that's going to be, it looks like, for the new Fire Emblem updates, basically. Nothing major. Next one, Nintendo is, of course, always after pirates and always after people that are trying to sue them for saying they stole things. Nintendo's legal department is ruthless. Do not host ROMs or they will come get you. They will find you in your sleep and they will steal, I don't know, your toes. Who knows? Anyway.
Well, since we're talking about legal stuff, why don't we move that last story to here?
All right, we can do that.
Yeah, Nintendo won a lawsuit against the Norwegian Consumer Council over not offering refunds. So, like, that's kind of not a big deal at first until you realize that they don't offer a refund on a pre-order before the game comes out. That's a little iffy.
Yeah. Now, it's before the game comes out, so, like GameStop, you pay $5 to pre-order.
And you can still get that back.
Yeah. So is this for their digital website, like the eShop? Okay.
Now, all of the other systems, PlayStation will let you refund. Let's see. They'll let you refund a pre-order. They'll also let you refund the game within 14 days as long as it hasn't been downloaded and played. I couldn't find Xboxes, but I could find like user reviews where people say they're fairly lenient.
Gotcha.
And then you have Steam and Epic, who will lets you cancel pre-orders and get a refund as long as you played less than 2 hours of the game.
Gotcha.
So let's see. I guess to wrap everything up here, Nintendo won, and Europe and the rest of the world lost.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be setting a precedent, at least more in Europe than anywhere else.
It's me, Mario, and I'm keeping all your money.
So that's fun. So it looks like you also found Sony's going to allow pre-orders to be canceled now too.
Oh yeah, no, I just covered that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, going back to the other one. So Nintendo was sued by a company that basically said that they, by iLife, that said that they stole the Wii technology.
A little late, buddy.
Well, they've been working on this lawsuit for years.
Oh.
And essentially, the iLife technology was sitting around, but it wasn't really related to the way Nintendo used it. And like most patents and legal victories, you actually have to use your technology
Oh yeah.
to make it applicable. If you had no clue that there was a parallel technology somewhere else, it doesn't matter, you know. So that's essentially what happened. This one's been going around for a while, and this is one of those things where Nintendo like just decimated them. I'm going to there was some stuff I was going to read, but I can't load it up. But basically, it comes out to where they're saying these people that are going and trying to find patents and suing these companies, if they're like these little known companies nobody knows, and then a big company is using it and actually making sales off of their stuff, it's going to be much harder in the future in the U.S. to sue for patent infringement and copyright infringements. So next one is next thing on the news, Super Nintendo World News. So they are making a theme park
I'm
at
so excited.
Universal Studios.
In Japan.
Yeah. So that's going to be coming down the pipe.
The warp pipe.
So expect to see some more stuff about that.
Did you see the music video they put out for it?
I did not.
Oh my god, it's bad.
Oh, is it?
It's like some pop song. Who is the singer?
If there's Universal Studios involved with it, I'm not down this.
Well, it's Universal Studios Japan. So I don't know if it's in like Tokyo or like where it is, but they're the ones that are making this. And the pop star, who was it? It was Charlie XCX. That did the song. And then there was some like electronic producer who did the music, and they incorporated a lot of Mario themes and like sound effects into it. It's bad, dude.
All right, next up on people that are jerks that took advantage of somebody. Target accidentally sold Yoshi's Crafted World for $1 online. The real question is it worth $1?
Yeah, it's worth $1.
Yeah, it's definitely worth $1, but they sold a bunch of copies, and people were like, "Oh, go get it now!" And people were like, of course, you know, trying to get it for $1 and being mad at Target that they fixed the price.
Yeah, it's kind of like this.
I think some people didn't get to download it either. Like, well, I purchased it through the store outright. It was an accident.
Yeah, there's also that story about the guy who tried to buy the toothbrush from Target.
I saw that.
That dude can.
Okay, so
I can't say.
So real quick side quest thought process. So there was a guy that's a Twitter like journalist, but he's really more like an outrage kind of person.
Troll.
He's a troll. So I actually watched like a breakdown of that, what Rowdy's talking about. He tried to buy an electric toothbrush, which those are expensive, 60, 70, up to $100 something sometimes, for 99 cents. Well, if you actually look at the tag,
it was an example tag.
It said demo unit, or it said something like that. It wasn't for the actual freaking box.
Yep.
And he called the police on the poor lady that was working at Target.
Put the picture of her rolling her eyes on Twitter.
Yes. Could you imagine? I know there are people that listen to this because this is the podcast for the working class gamer that have to deal with people when you're working at a store that are stupid like this.
Dude, they opened up a GoFundMe for her saying that she needs a vacation.
Yeah.
So
she got a lot of money from that.
And she's donating like most of it to charity after she takes a vacation.
That's nice of her. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next one on the list. Astral Chain sold really well, according to Platinum Games, sold beyond their expectations, but there are no specific sales numbers. So they weren't expecting anybody to buy it, is what happened. So, possible sequel, maybe?
It was an okay game.
Are you playing it, Rowdy?
No.
Oh. What
No.
we talked about it a couple episodes ago. It got boring towards the end.
It was fun at first. It got boring real quick though. I don't even think I unlocked every single one of the little monsters that you could use.
Wow. All right, next up on the list, 10 million Super Mario Maker 2 courses have been uploaded. Whoa! You can now create 100 courses in Mario Maker 2. One of the problems I had with it at the beginning, but I sold it. It was one of my most disappointing games of the year that nobody agrees with.
It's fun. I really enjoyed it.
Well, you have 10 million courses you can play, Rowdy. I ain't putting any more up there.
I'm surprised there's only 10 million.
Yeah, actually, now that you're saying it, because
Bro,
it sold a lot of games.
Dude, from how many videos I've seen online of courses that people have made, sadists.
That's all that the people, they're masochists and sadists. Those are the only people that play Mario Maker.
Yeah, masochist. Wait.
The people that make the levels that grind you up into this bullet hell.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the masochists.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The ones that are the sadists are the ones that enjoy playing those levels over and
They're
over.
crazy
Watching the
people,
little bitty
man.
X's where everybody's dying in a bed of spikes.
Crazy people.
Next up, Ring Fit Adventure selling out in UK and Japan. Nintendo actually had to issue an apology. Hopefully more stock is coming soon. Speaking of that, did you know that people are actually speed running Ring Fit Adventure?
So they're technically speed running in real life?
Yes, but not in real life, in the real fake life of real life.
Is
But
this
in
them
fake
just
and
like...
it's real and they're passing out and it's bad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
you know what's funny about that?
what's funny about that, Rowdy?
We actually have a video about Ring Fit Adventure that's going to come out soon.
Yeah, Ring Fat Adventure.
Yeah, man. Casey's done with it, man. I just need to get it from him.
Oh man, I've seen like Rowdy keeps sending me little clips of this. There is a skit at the beginning. It's so bad.
It's gonna be pretty funny,
amazing.
man. It's gonna be awesome.
I spit
I'm super
fire.
excited about it.
All right. Anyway, if I tried to speed run Ring Fit Adventure, especially with the back problems I've been having lately, I would die.
I would speed die.
You speed die. I die really fast. All right, next up, really fun news. Untitled Goose Game sold 1 million copies.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
It's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, and they deserve it. I agree. Hey, okay, so the guy that is in charge of making the game, at Cable on Twitter, Cabel, he said, "It seems impossible, but last week, 3 months after launch, Untitled Goose Game passed 1 million copies sold. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for playing our video game."
Dude,
Pretty freaking cool, man.
I was super excited when I saw the preview for that game. I think it was a Nintendo, like an Indies Direct or something like that. I saw that, dude. I was so excited, and I didn't know how big of a game this was going to be, especially for an indie. Like,
Dude,
I mean,
it's fun. It's simple. The music is on point because it changes as you play. I mean,
there are people that are not even video game influencers that were talking about this on Twitter. There's video of Blink 182 on stage at a concert talking about playing Untitled Goose Game.
okay, I'm not surprised by that though. I've seen some of Blink 182's recent videos. They're trying really hard to be like one of the kids again now.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about the video with all the kids doing the Fortnite dances.
Yeah,
That was
man.
so
Blink.
bad.
I like Blink 182. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a big fan of the new album,
Eh,
but
eh.
I like the new like combination with
Matt Skiba.
yeah, I like the Skiba 182, but it's cringeworthy.
The song was good. The video was awful.
Oh, video is terrible. So
Oh, next.
Next.
Oh, wait. That was it for that.
yeah, hey, rumors and fake news. So, just so you know, there is a rumor floating about the ethos that there is a Switch Pro supposedly coming out.
Dude,
we did report about this.
It keeps coming back up.
Man, it is over and over. DigiTimes was the first one to announce it, which is a newspaper in Taiwan. But we talked about it pretty in depth on the Pokemon Indirect and Console Wars episode. Check that one out. But man, I'm throwing. I want this. I want the Switch Pro. We kind of talked about what could that mean. I want the power toaster. I want the power toaster dock. Okay. Next up, one thing that's kind of fun too, BioShock games are supposedly coming to the Switch. Now, this is putting in the probably going to happen category. It's up on a Taiwanese and a Brazilian game ratings board for BioShock Remastered, BioShock 2 Remastered, BioShock Infinite, the Complete Edition, and BioShock the Collection. So just kind of expect that. That's probably going to happen. Next one, this is going to be kind of in the maybe section. Mario and Luigi games may be coming to the Switch, mobile phones, or both, based on a trademark in Argentina.
So I've seen something about this rumor, but they were saying Paper Mario.
No, it's the Mario and Luigi ones is what I was seeing. Some people did kind of infer maybe it's Paper Mario.
Which the Mario and Luigi series is also a great RPG series.
Apparently, the company that made them, the developers, has gone under. They tanked.
Okay.
So this also could be like them trying to trademark it under another company's name.
Okay.
So that's where it gets a little iffy, and that's why that one is in the category. Yeah. Next one is, I'm not quite sure about this. It could happen, but probably fake news. Red Dead Redemption 2 was listed for Switch. Now, this comes from NintendoSmash.com, which is, if you're on the Reddits, they've gotten in trouble recently on Reddit for basically putting way too many articles out and trying to game the whole Reddit system. They say it comes from a trusted source that's in another language. I'm not so sure about it. I could see it as a possibility.
I don't know, man. Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2?
It's on my list of things to play. I think that game would be way too CPU intensive.
Dude,
there's a lot of stuff going on.
If you tried to put Red Dead Redemption 2 on
a toaster,
the Switch,
yeah,
it would look worse than Red Dead Redemption 1. It's not possible, man. Like, that game looked so good, and it's so CPU intensive. Nah, man.
Yeah, there's just too much going on with the way the animals and everything move. I don't see that one happening.
I mean, they could prove me wrong, but it's not going to look good if it comes out.
All right. So that's going to be like the biggest rumors and fake news that's been going on this last month in January. Here comes the games that actually released on the Switch. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, the #FE Encore. Tokyo Mirage Sessions was a Fire Emblem and Shin
Megami Tensei?
Yeah, I always say it wrong. That released.
I've seen a lot of people talking about it on Twitter.
If you are a big anime fan, you will enjoy this.
This is like a music dance game.
It is everything that makes me not play a game.
All right.
Yeah, it's just my wife would probably throw things at me if I played this in my house. I make fun of Rowdy's Final Fantasy 15 boy band game, which I'll play eventually. But this takes it to a whole nother level. So, yeah, it's not my thing. It might be yours. It might be your kids.
At least there's no dancing and singing in Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, good. At least I know that now. All right, next up is Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition. Kentucky Route Zero is fun. It's an indie game.
Dude, this game is old, and they're finally releasing the last episode for it.
Yep. I've only played a little bit of it, but it's kind of one of those bleak indie games, I guess you would say. It's kind of Discord. I'm using weird words right now for you, but basically it's quiet and weird. We'll say that. Next one, speaking of weird, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. That's coming out. Or that did come out, I'm sorry. Sega Ages has 2 new games that came out in January. Shinobi, good game. Fantasy Zone. Yeah, I like Fantasy Zone. Then another one, Sikyo Shooting Stars Alpha. It's one of those top-down,
yeah,
kind of not quite retro, but it's like one of those top-down air shooter games. Don't really know this next one. Stories Untold came out. That was one of the bigger releases. Puzzles and Dragons Gold. So if you have a significant other or maybe yourself that likes those little tappy mobile games, like the Connect 3 kind of games, this is your alley. My wife loves Puzzles and Dragons on the 3DS. It's not the best version in the world, but it's a good game if you know people that like those kind of free games you get on your phone. Next one is a surprising one. So the Wii, way back in the day, y'all remember the Wii? It was a thing that stood up straight, that was bright, and you had controllers, and your grandma would bowl. And
only one of the biggest selling consoles ever.
Yeah, and sometimes your grandma would take both a controller and a nunchuck and just beat you down in a boxing match. Grandma was tough. Grandma didn't she didn't hold back. Anyway, so they had these things that were all about helping people, and one thing for the older folks was brain training to keep your brain kind of elastic. You know, there's actually been like studies that it was helpful for people that were potential Alzheimer's patients or going to deal with dementia. It kind of kept them more mentally capable. So a new one for the Switch, Dr. Kawashima's brain training. Now, this is the only one I loaded up reviews because it's just ridiculous. Metacritic, and we're going to have a whole episode, or we might have a whole series of these in the future, where we read Metacritic reviews because we did that for the Pokemon Direct when we talked about review bombing, and it's some of the funniest stuff around.
People seem to like it.
Here's a legitimate review. Now, the review ratings are different. There's a 1 through 100 review for the actual reviewers. Then for the users, it's 1 through 10 is what it appears to me. So the first one's a real review. 85. An effective update of the proven formula that we enjoyed many years ago. Anyone can enjoy it, although we expected a little more variety. Yes. Oh. The next one.
I will have my tea.
I will have a little sip of this coffee real quick.
Little ASMR for you?
Yes. This next one is nice. All right, I'd add an extra S to this ASMR one right here.
That was not planned, by the way.
No, it wasn't. All right, here we go. I have to bleep some things out. I blank adore this masterpiece. People praise this piece of blank Ocarina of Time, but not this absolute blank necessity of a game, you absolute blank buffoons. You blank blank can never be trusted on the internet because all of your opinions are just blank. I hope you get the blank blank and your grandmother too. Blank the blank blank.
Wow.
That's an insightful review.
So they
gave it a perfect score.
They like this game more than they like Ocarina of Time.
They like this game more than they like grammar, punctuation, and anything that represents anybody having an educated mind.
They also like this game more than buffoons.
Yes, this is the type of people that complain that they were never taught like how to balance a checkbook in high school. And yeah,
I was never taught how to balance a checkbook in high school.
We had that class together.
Did we?
Did we have math models together?
Is that one of those classes that like you didn't want to go any higher than like geometry?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
but you still had to have math.
Yeah, like I had to take it because it was fitting my schedule for some reason. But yeah, that was like one of those alternate courses. So we were taught this.
I don't remember how to balance a checkbook in that class.
I do. All right, next one. Though we might not have the class together though, but I do remember that class. All right. All right, next one, last one on the list. That was a good game this month. The Walking Dead Season 2 and A New Frontier. Those are two different games. By the Telltale series. So if you've ever played one of those Walking Dead games, it's not like an actual zombie shoot 'em up game. It's more like
an interactive graphic novel.
Yeah, that you get really sad over. And there's never a good choice.
Yeah.
All right. Last on our list of Nintendo news, upcoming releases next month. So in February, we will see Metro Redux. If you have a stressful job, stay far, far away from this game unless you're excellent at first-person shooters.
This game's been ported to like refrigerators. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Metro is a really good series, but it's a really tough series, and they do a really stupid choice whenever you try to make it easier. So one thing that they do in the Metro series is if you turn it on like little baby mode, everything turns into a bullet sponge, and it doesn't really pay attention to where you hit the monster. And you get more ammo, but you have to like waste more ammo. So if you like do a headshot on a monster that's coming after you, yeah, it's not like a headshot in the main game.
Weak.
It's the weirdest system, and I kind of realized it halfway through the game.
That stinks, and I hate it.
Yeah. One Dark Crystal, we talked about that in the last section. Age of Resistance Tactics on February 4th. That is, just kind of reiterate, it's a strategy game from the Dark Crystal universe that is being
awesome.
Put on. Yeah, it's from the latest Netflix series, apparently. Next one is the Turing Test. February 7th. That's been on PC forever. It's a puzzle game. you haven't played it, it's on the Switch. Rowdy will be excited about this. The DLC for Fire Emblem Three Houses Cindered Shadows.
I think it's the last DLC for it.
Oh, they've had one already?
They've had a few.
I'm behind.
I haven't played any of them because I put 120 hours into
Yeah, you did, man.
Fire Emblem Three Houses. And side note. So I put
Side quest.
I put 120 hours into that. So I got an email from PlayStation that was like their year in review kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it had how many hours you put into it. So 120 hours was Fire Emblem for me. I only put 64 hours into Borderlands 3 and 64 hours into Death Stranding.
Wow.
So if you combine both of those, it's about as much as I played Fire Emblem.
And Fire Emblem's pretty much a play style you normally don't do.
No.
There's a game that we talked about on the round table about the upcoming games of the year. There's a mob game coming out that's similar to those.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, next up, once again, for your loved ones, you have the choice of Darksiders Genesis or Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate on Valentine's Day. Yeah. Darksiders, of course, is Genesis the one that... So Darksiders games have always been kind of like Zelda-ish, like the way you travel. Is this the one that's more Dark Souls-ish?
This is the one that's like a dungeon crawler.
Okay. Because I saw one of the most recent Darksiders games was just boss fights.
Yeah, that was 3.
Yeah, it was on Game Pass, and I was going to play it, and then I was like, oh no.
This one is like a dungeon crawler.
Gotcha. All right, and Warriors, of course, kind of one of those Warriors games. Next one on February 20th, Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition.
If you haven't played it, pick it up. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Also, Samurai Showdown coming February 25th.
Is this the new Samurai Showdown or the old one?
I think it's the new one.
Okay.
It's one of them. I don't think the new one reviewed very well from what I've seen. Next one, Mega Man Zero ZX Collection, Legacy Collection, sorry. February 25th. Then the game that I'm not even going to tell you the day it releases because it's terrible is Soul Axiom rebooted. I couldn't stand that game. I hated it so hard.
Do you not like Metroid?
Soul Axiom. Wait, am I thinking of the wrong game?
Oh, I'm thinking of Axiom Verge. Never mind.
Yeah, Axiom Verge is not this game. Soul Axiom is a walking simulator that is very bad. I could not stand it. There were so many glitches in it whenever I played it on the Wii U.
Okay.
I did it as a review for Nintendo enthusiasts back in the day. And I didn't enjoy the free game. Let's just put it that way. I was so frustrated with it. And it wasn't a hard game. It was just bad. I mean, whenever you see things that look like Minecraft textures...
And not in Minecraft?
Not supposed to be Minecraft textures... You know something's wrong. Like the lava looked weird whenever it's supposed to be semi-realistic in areas. All right, last one, Metro Redux on February 28th.
That was the first one.
Oh.
You put it in here twice.
I put it in here. Well, it comes out on February 28th. I must not have reversed it. All right. Okay, so that is, that's it. Well, since we've talked about all the upcoming releases, can we finally get to the delayed news?
Yeah, man, I guess we can. Why not?
Time for delayed news. Wait, hold the presses. We have breaking Xbox news.
So we're not going to talk about the delays yet?
No.
All right, again, let's get to the Xbox news.
All right. Before we start diving into the Xbox Series 1X or S or whatever the heck they're naming the system now, news of the week. Don't forget that you can tell your friends to check us out on Spotify, iTunes, www.lamergamers.com, or wherever you cast your pods, except for iHeartRadio. All right.
Ugh.
Hey, Rowdy, this breaking news is really important if you have children.
Why did you have to stop the delays?
There's an app on the Xbox store for Mr. Bean episodes.
Insert cricket sounds. What?
Okay, so I will say, Mr. Bean is actually a really popular thing for kids nowadays. I don't know how it happened, but in the words of Mr. Bean, he doesn't really talk. Yeah. All right.
That's weird.
Yeah, seriously, there's not much like real news for Xbox right now. So it's pretty much just going straight to the rumors and fake news section, or kind of news-ish, but kind of like speculation. So first up on the probably going to happen, Xbox is looking at releasing games on the Switch. Now, we already are seeing this. We're seeing it with Ori and the Blind Forest. They're actually doing it with Outer Worlds, aren't they? I think the Outer Worlds is coming to the Switch.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
So, now this is annoying Eurogamer. Okay, so Tom Phillips of Eurogamer said, Horizon on PC is a start, but Microsoft is still a long way ahead of PlayStation, making a serious move to a platform agnostic future. I'm sorry. They're happy about this.
Yeah.
Argue your games are worth more than slapping in a sub, sure, but the future is everyone being able to access great games wherever they play. Horizon will be followed by others down the road. You don't need to dream too hard to guess, but Xbox is already well established, launching games on the PC at the same time and eager to explore the Switch. So there are people that are upset about what Xbox is doing. There are people that are upset about what Sony's doing.
Yeah.
Where it's not mattering. But you know what a big part of this is, though?
What's that?
The Switch is so disruptive as a good portable hybrid system, and the other companies just can't figure that out, and they're not willing to, because they are directly competing with each other, Xbox and PlayStation. They're using very similar technologies, especially in the new systems. I think they're trying to subvert Nintendo with the streaming. That's not working either.
I mean,
it's already failing dramatically.
Streaming is just
not
in our area is not a good
never
thing.
going to work in a rural or even.
I mean, we're not even that rural.
Yeah,
Rural.
I'm more rural than you.
Hey, say the rural juror.
Rural juror. Yeah. So I'm going to make my rural judgment and say that streaming's just not going to happen on a grand scale, especially outside of the U.S. All right, so that is one thing. Next one is the Xbox Series X prototype has leaked. In fact, they're showing the back of the Xbox Series X. Did I write that down? Yeah, I did write that down, right?
Yeah.
I'm still angry about them naming it that. So on the back of the Xbox One X, I mean, it just looks like every other thing. We talked about this a couple episodes ago where
somebody put out that fake one.
Yeah, there was actually a fake render that was used in an NVIDIA conference, and it literally said not for commercial use. So like some intern or somebody just stole it and threw it in the display. But apparently somebody did actually leak. Have you seen the pictures of it yet?
I have, and what's crazy is, like, if you look at it, it's only got the HDMI out, so it doesn't have that HDMI in like the Xbox One had, where you plug like your cable box in, and it's got like a lot of your normal stuff. Now, there's no USB-C on the back of it.
No, there are 2 USB-A ports.
Yes, so some people are kind of iffy about the not having the USB-C. That one in the middle.
There's a slot in the middle. There are some theories on what it is.
So
now, by the way, this could all be. Now, this is probably like an actual thing, but this could be a unit that is a test unit.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a type of compact flash drive spot, is what the leading like minds of gaming have come up with. It could also be a debug port.
That's what I've been seeing a lot of. Debug, and apparently it has something to do with connecting to Xbox or Microsoft or whatever to send
data,
debug information and stuff like that.
So, I mean, right now that one, and somebody is going to be in so much trouble for this because there is a serial number on the back of it.
Dude.
And you will know who it is. But however, as we've talked about in the past, that with all the fake gaming news out there, lots of leaks are planned on purpose.
Yeah.
And so this could have been leaked as a way to kill the speculation on what's on the back of the console by Microsoft on purpose. You never know those kind of things. So that is something that has happened. Next one up on the fake news. This is definite fake news. The Xbox Series X chip has been shown. We actually talked about this in the Pokemon Indirect and the Console Wars episode and reviewed the fake news about it. Was that people were saying it was the biggest processor in console gaming ever. Wrong. They used some perspective tricks to figure that out based on the size of the capacitors, I think it was in it. So basically, it's actually smaller than the Xbox One X.
It's weird.
Yeah, but they are very much showing it. Like, Xbox is completely different than PlayStation right now because they are like showing you its insides and the rear of it. It's getting obscene.
They're putting out the Instagram pics.
Yeah, they got the Instagram pics. They're doing duck face with the, got the special lighting. They got a face filter on the Xbox.
That's what that back port is that nobody knows. It's the duck face.
I do have to say, though, after seeing the picture of the Xbox Series X, it's way smaller than I think a lot of people were expecting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they have it on the floor, and it's not a good angle. I guess that's what they'll say. So, next one. This one is kind of an interesting news, and this goes back to some people that were old Android nerds or even used Windows a long time ago. So, Phil Spencer, one of the heads of Xbox, said that the solid-state drive that is inside the Series X can basically be used as virtual RAM, or the old term used to be paging files.
Okay.
Or if you're an old Android nerd from way back in the day of the G1, swap cache. So, not the JG Wentworth, Rowdy. I knew he was about to do it.
That sounds like a bunch of nerd crap.
That is, but basically what it is. The solid state drives are so fast at moving data that it works like random access memory. I guess I should have nerd alerted people, but it's a way to essentially fake or use a game that needs a lot of RAM, like RAM hungry. It's a way to get more in there, and you just have it easily accessible. So you might have games that require like some empty data, or they might actually partition off a section of the solid state drive just to act as like a backup boost RAM in a sense.
I use a solid state drive for all of my music creation because I have a lot of my virtual instruments are stored on it.
Yes.
So when I hit a note on a keyboard, it goes from the keyboard to the computer to the solid state external drive back to the computer instantly.
Probably before you even hear the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I mean, solid state's the way to go. Everything's moving to that way, and it's getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, which would make sense why Xbox is trying to have, if what we saw and just talked about on the back end of the Xbox Series X, to have the capability to add more solid state. It's just going to get better down the road. Yeah. All right. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about the games that actually were worth getting in January. There's not... Okay, it's end of the life for the Xbox One right now. There's not a lot of games releasing, and most of the games that were on my list, I just didn't even bother putting up there because they are going to be that junk that is going to sit around forever that nobody's going to play. It's just going to take up some space somewhere on a hard drive.
Dude, you make it sound like they're going to old yeller the thing.
It's going to end it. I mean, the Xbox...
No, Ma, I'll do it.
Okay, so I guess I should say before I do this, the Xbox One S and X are still going to be able to play. I guess this should have been the big news we should have went off with. Okay, the Xbox S and One X and the One Series, not the Series, the One Series. It's like, who's on first? Good Lord, I hate this name! Okay. Jeez. Okay, so the old Xbox thing with the ones in the names will play the Series games, the new Xbox games, for the next couple years.
They're just not going to look as good.
They're not going to look as good. That's all it is. So there's not a lot of games releasing on the One right now, but you'll be able to play any of the new games that are coming up in the future. So the games that released in January that were worth playing, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Fun fact, I accidentally bought this game by dropping a controller.
Well, do you at least enjoy it?
I am enjoying it. So Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I'll just kind of explain the story because people are like, well, that sounds dumb. How'd you drop a controller by a game? So the Xbox One's store, I had it set up to where you didn't have to like sign in and do all this other stuff on my console.
So you could buy stuff really easy.
Oh yeah, man. It's not
Like-
even like confirm, yeah.
You think you're clicking a preview button, but it's not.
No. So I was looking up reviews, and because the game looks interesting. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z, and if you've ever, it was a thing I watched before football practice in like junior high.
This game actually follows the storyline.
It does.
Yeah.
It's kind of some parts of the game. I mean, it follows the storyline pretty well. Some of the cutscenes are kind of boring, like in between the way they talk and skip over stuff. But I mean, the alternative is them literally going for 5 minutes at a time. So
30 minutes. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
I know that's like half a Dragon Ball Z.
It takes 2 episodes just to do a
I
spirit
love
bomb.
whenever they're like, doing the previews. So in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, you're gonna see all sorts of damage happening to the world. Spirit bomb. That's how Dragon Ball Z works.
And Krillin's just standing in the background.
Oh no! Hey, I like Krillin. Leave Krillin alone. Anyway, so what happened was I was looking up some reviews. I tapped a button that was looking up the reviews, and I got off the screen, dropped the controller. The controller hit the buy button. Whenever it fell, I pick up the controller, and it confirmed it.
Dumb.
I'm so glad I wasn't looking at the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, dude, 'cause that's like $100.
That's like
or
a
more.
yeah, it's ridiculous. So yeah, that's how I bought Dragon Ball Z. Has it been worth it? Yeah, it's been pretty good. So I guess I was like, I could have talked to Microsoft and been like, hey, I did some bad things, but I went ahead and just did it. And it was fun. I was kind of looking at it anyway. Anyway, next one, Kentucky Route Zero TV edition. We talked about that previously. It is an indie game. Journey to the Savage Planet is coming out at the end of the month. At the end of January, so this is probably going to be out like the day after this podcast releases. It's kind of like a satire on No Man's Sky and all these adventure games like Astroneer. So that one should be fun. And of course, the game that you should buy that has the Simply Travis's stamp of approval of amazingness that I talk about way too much, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire.
I don't know if we've had an episode where you don't talk
Probably
about this game.
not. God, I love that game.
You got that poster sitting right behind you of it.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I got this. No, that's the first Pillars of Eternity. Hey, I got some new. I got an Outer Worlds one too over here, man. I got lots of stuff that I need to put up over here.
Nerd.
Yeah, I want to do some YouTube stuff in the future, and I'm making like this area more gamey. Not like stinky though, but I mean I have dogs, so it is kind of smelly.
Gamey.
My dogs love that. Anyway, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire is an RPG that's very Dungeons and Dragons-esque. It has a mixture of like real-time battle that's pause-based, and they've turned it also into more of a Divinity style too with turn-based. I'm curious to see how well it plays on the Xbox, and I will be reporting to y'all hopefully next episode or so if it works with keyboard and mouse, because that is going to be all up on my Xbox, and I would not be surprised if it's on Game Pass. All right, speaking of Game Pass had a huge month in January. Game Pass released Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, they did this at the same time as PS Now. So if you have Game Pass, you're good to go if you like the Grand Theft Auto. I talked about it a couple episodes. Not really a fan myself, but I'm sure you are. And you're probably your 8-year-old kid that shouldn't be playing it is a huge fan of it. Believe me, I know as a teacher. All right. So next one, Frostpunk, the console edition. Actually, I said I was going to play it on PC in a previous episode. I think I like the console version better.
Nice.
Yeah, it just wasn't clicking right. Pun, mouse clicks. Next one, Sword Art Online released. I have not played this Fatal Bullet version.
I think I'm gonna try it out.
Okay, is it an MMO? That's where I get confused because I don't think it is.
Okay, so the show Sword Art Online is an anime about people being in a virtual reality MMO.
Okay.
So like they put on these headsets and like lay down on this bed, and then they're in the game. But the guy who created the game went crazy, and everybody is locked into the headset. So in real life, if somebody tries to unplug the headset to take them off of it, they die. So they have to find a
Gotcha.
way in game.
So it's
get
like
out.
what novels like Hardwired. It's a lot like the cyberpunk universe. Those kind of thought
Yeah. Well,
processes.
but then this
But
this
it's
is
I
like
don't
a
have to. But my okay, I don't have to talk to people online, do I? These are all
no.
okay. Good. I don't like people.
Well, this one is based off of of the second season where they go into a new MMO.
Okay.
Because the first one was like fantasy based, and then the new MMO is gun based.
Gotcha. All right. Next up on Game Pass releases that came out was Tekken 7. Tekken 7. Have you played it yet?
Nuh-uh.
I'm not the biggest fan of Tekken 7. If you like Tekken 7, it's a good fighting game. I don't think it was as good as the previous one from what I've seen from people. A lot of people were angry at this version, but the thing that okay, first off, Tekken 7 is a very memorization based fighting game to where you remember button combinations and how they progress. Not so much a one that's focused on special moves, like a Street Fighter.
A lot of the Tekken games are that way because instead of having like strong, medium, and heavy,
Yeah, it's like
punches,
left, right.
Yeah, it's left and right. So the combos to me are easier because you know you need to go back and forth between the buttons, or do like if your character is right hand front,
Mm-hmm.
so you hit the right button a couple times, you do a couple quick jabs, and then you could follow it up with a hook from the left. So it's stuff like that you have to think about.
See, I haven't really pieced together like the I guess how it actually works.
Mhm.
That hasn't hit my head. I just see like combinations I'm supposed to memorize, and I'm immediately like turned off by it because I'm never been a big fan of remembering things. I got the brain of a goldfish some days. So, but anyway, the one thing that is most important about Tekken 7 is the amazing amount of hairspray and pomade they use on these characters to keep their hair still and stiff whenever it's 3 feet up in a spike.
Dude, it looks like the PlayStation 1 graphics. Like the hair in that was very was it polygonal, I guess you could say?
Yeah, back in the day, I mean, they had to use these polygon models that were really low,
so they just
amounts.
Kept the hair from that.
Yeah. And oh man, it's so bad.
Dude, Hahachi with his freaking he's like bald in the center, but then like got 2 big spikes coming out of it. You've got I think his name is Paul. He's got a flat top that sticks up like 2 feet.
Mm-hmm. I know for a fact that hair does not work in Southeast Texas out here because of the humidity and the heat. I had really tall hair in the front a long time ago, and I remember I worked in a produce section. I had this hair that was like straight up in the front, and I would go into the back freezer and it'd be up, and then I'd come out and work and it'd just fall and hit me in the eyes. Yeah. So I used to have hair like that. Next one is Children of Morta, man. You go right now if you have an Xbox Game Pass and download Children of Morta. It is actually a really good version of it. Stay away from the Switch version, from what I'm hearing.
Oh, that sucks, man, because you bought this game.
That's
and
okay. I'm
on
okay
Game
with
Pass.
it. I'm okay with it. Actually, the Children of Morta, the company that made it, has people that used to work on the other Witcher games too.
Nice.
It's actually a company in Poland that is like former CD Projekt people.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. One that just released the other day, A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Have you seen anything about this game?
Really weird and surreal, and there's rats everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
I am so about that game. It's very similar to kind of how Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice
More of a story.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much. It's all. I mean, Hellblade was kind of a re-envisioning of how psychosis manifests into people. Oh my gosh, man! Have you been in here with the Atmos on in that game?
I refuse, man.
You need to.
I played it with headphones on.
Oh, that's right. You had the surround. Yeah, so you had the same idea. Oh, that game is intense. I did stop playing it. I need to start it back again, but man, during the school year, it ain't happening for me. It is too much. Next one is Indivisible.
I've never heard of this one.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's about.
Okay, next one.
Sea Salt. If you like, I'm guessing these are fishing games. Sea Salt, then Fishing Sim World Pro Tour on January 30th. So that's coming up in a day or two. So yeah. Oh, and then there's games with gold that released. Sticks. Have you ever seen Sticks?
Oh yeah. I think I've gotten it on PS4.
If you have Game Pass, you
whatever.
should have. I think it comes with gold. So these games are free to download and keep permanently. Yes, thank you, German Shepherd, for shaking and make lots of noises on the podcast. By the way, Pig dropped by, everybody. Pig the German Shepherd. Anyway, so next one is Batman, the Telltale series is on Games with Gold. Tekken 6, so the one right before 7.
You can play 6 and 7.
You can
this
play
month.
it, yeah, and then compare them and tell us which one's better.
Neither.
Yeah. Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, the Lego.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lego stuff. All right, and finally, next month, upcoming releases for the Xbox, which there's some good stuff next month. Zombie Army 4 Dead War, February 4th. The Dark Crystal, as we've talked about before. Age of Resistance Tactics is February 4th also. Darksiders Genesis is on February 13th. You can get a 12-pack of roses on February 14th with Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate. That's a lie. Bayonetta and Vanquish on February 18th. If you like the Bayonetta series. So I have not played Bayonetta and Vanquish. So explain to me.
I've played Bayonetta.
Oh, okay, but not Bayonetta and Vanquish. I've played Bayonetta 1. I've played Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta and Vanquish are 2 different games.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about. So what is this?
It's a Vanquish
is it a new game?
No.
Oh.
It's a game that's been out. I think it came out before Bayonetta. I want to say it's like a third-person shooter with some weird stuff going on.
Vanquish is the gray-haired one, or
huh?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Vanquish is a completely different game that has nothing to do with Bayonetta.
Oh, okay.
It's just made by Platinum Games.
Sure.
So they're putting both of them together.
Oh, it's a way to finally sell it. Got it. Yeah, they just need to make a little cash to put towards another game. All right, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind is coming out on February 25th. Wasteland Remembered, February 25th. Mega Man Zero / ZX Legacy Collection is coming out February 25th. And One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, is on February 28th. So,
we should probably combine them all.
What do you mean?
Newscast, like all of
just
the
everything
games.
we got left over. So, well, you know what we got to do before then, though.
Another break?
No, it's time for the delayed games, Rowdy.
Oh,
We're supposed to do this at the beginning of the episode because these people have been waiting for these delays, and we keep delaying it on our own freaking show. So, when we come back, before we do the leftovers, we're going to go ahead and go to the delayed news.
Okay, sounds good.
And finally, you've asked for it. You've been waiting for the entire episode and probably even longer. It's time for the delayed games.
Nope.
Dadgummit, Rowdy.
Nope, not
What
yet.
are we have to talk about now?
So this was originally going to be like our PC section, but we've now decided to make it like a miscellaneous section, just because there was
It's let's put it this way. It's the crap catcher section. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's like that bowl you have on the table that you put your keys in, but then there's like Tic Tacs, and then there's like a
rubber bands,
brush, some rubber bands, there's some change,
half-dead batteries.
yeah, maybe some coffee beans that you dropped on the table. So, all right, Rowdy, where's our news sound? At least play that for the people.
News song, news break sounds.
Breaking news. What is the breaking news?
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Stadia. What did Stadia do, Travis?
Stadia blew it. Oh,
Pretty much.
Oh, man. Okay, so we have been very skeptical about the Stadia.
I think skeptical is a nice way of putting it.
We have been absolutely terrible to it. And it has definitely not helped our Google search numbers, I don't think, because these are definitely transcribed.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere. We saw like hundreds of people coming from Google search, and now it's like 20
Nothing.
a month. But anyway, but we're going to say it anyway. The truth has a certain ring to it, and that ring is dying somewhere.
Sounds like a butt.
Yeah, it's Stadia. Okay, so you had some info about this. So
Yeah,
how many times is this app that's supposed to be this revolutionary new way of playing games on a little hockey puck looking thing?
So I put some numbers here, and I do want to start by saying that it's not.
These
Google,
are like estimated.
well, no. I was gonna say, Google Stadia. It's only the founders can play it right now.
Yeah.
So
It's
maybe,
not officially launched, but it's officially launched, and we're not hearing any
Yeah.
news about it anymore because it's not doing very well.
So I don't have numbers. I don't have sales numbers, but what I do have is how many times the Stadia app has been downloaded, and that is 175,000 times.
Oof.
So I put in my notes here that doesn't mean that's how many were sold.
Right.
Because as a member, you could download it on multiple consoles. You could or multiple devices. So you could put it on your phone. You could put it on your Chromecast. So some people are downloading it more than once. Now, another thing to point out on here.
Yeah, because, well, I guess the bigger thing is because people can download this app and it doesn't necessarily cost a whole lot.
Well, even if
you
you're
can
not,
download the app without actually having the service.
Yes.
Because there's a free version,
yes,
but there's games you're supposed to buy. But isn't there a free game?
yes, Destiny 2. So the thing about Destiny 2, yes, it's been out for a while, but the thing is, it's still a really popular game amongst the Destiny 2 community. So 175,000 times the app's been downloaded, and with the free game, 19,000 individual users have played it.
Wow, that is
Not played 19,000 times, 19,000 individual users.
So I wonder how much work they had to do to get this game up and running on the Stadia. I wonder if they have to do any work, really.
I mean,
It has
it's
to be
probably not
Vulkan,
much.
like the nerd stuff. It has to be playable through Vulkan API, which is a special GPU like engine.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. That's it. But so there's a little bit of work you have to do. So if you only have 20,000 people playing it,
19,000.
I'm sorry, 19,000.
Get it right.
Yeah. I guess maybe they're buying some microtransactions.
I mean, maybe, because I mean,
Maybe.
there are
if there's
microtransactions
whales,
in the
they
game.
might be. What? Okay. Video game terminology. Whales. Whales are the people that keep free to play games alive. They're the people that buy the coins, the money, the codes, you buy stuff to win.
The companies are Ahab.
Yes.
The players, the whales, are Moby Dick. They're searching for Moby Dick, who spends $150,000 on the Transformers free-to-play cell phone game.
Yes.
That happened.
This is really what happens. This is true to life.
That happened.
All right. So maybe it worked out for them, but if the free-to-play game has only done 19,000 individual users, just imagine the people that were expecting to have their games purchased for full price to play on this system. I bet those numbers have got to be abysmal because they're not even reported right now.
Well, here's another problem with it. Like, Stadia's been throwing developers under the bus.
Okay.
Because people have been, like, Red Dead Redemption 2 is supposed to play at 4K.
Yeah.
Well, people have noticed that it's only upscaled to 1440.
Right. We talked about that a couple episodes to where they're lying. And that's the whole thing about the Stadia launch. If you were excited about Stadia, you were promised the world. You were promised all these fancy technologies that somehow imagined what buttons you were going to press. And it was going to determine alternate realities. And it would pick the reality you supposedly were going to do when you pressed the button. Mm-hmm. And it would somehow solve the lag issue. It solved nothing.
Nope.
The gameplay is glitchy unless you're under perfect conditions. And even the perfect conditions on Google servers in their environments, you still have a softness to the graphics that does not beat the One X. Mm-hmm. You still have lag occasionally. And even in the best conditions, it does not play like a game that's in your living room.
Yarp.
But here's the problem. And that's if Google was like, oh, well, yeah, this stuff is going to happen. You are probably going to see this. This is okay to happen in our system. But instead, they've promised you that this was going to be groundbreaking. This was going to beat anything that could come in the near future. And then what happens? they're announcing next-gen consoles that can do more teraflops, which are the calculations.
The flops.
They can do more flops. They got the flipping flops all over the flopping place, and they're flip-flopping all over Google Stadia, which is supposed to be on these mega computers, supercomputers that Google's been saying. And that's what happened. That's what happened with the Stadia launch. They promised you the world and gave you Puerto Rico. So, maybe not full Puerto Rico, like not a pretty side, so
Somebody's passionate about this.
it's so bad whenever you have this company that completely lies to you. Because in a regular environment, the games are unplayable. I've seen video of fighting games, and it's just like you lose a second every now and then. And that's how the lag issue has been around. It just wasn't going to work. And everybody knew this. Even the xCloud thing, which we've tried out, xCloud does it only at 720, and there's still lag, there's still softness. Mm-hmm. And Microsoft themselves has come out and said, well, this is essentially going to be what you play while you're waiting for the game to download, is that streaming in between so you don't have to wait forever. I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Is what we're going to see with streaming services, just a way to demo a game or something of that nature.
Makes sense.
So Stadia also had issues with overheating. We talked about this too, to where people were actually attaching heat sinks to the back of it because the brilliant minds at Google, at
so
Alphabet,
funny,
the company with the most amount of money that you could think of coming out of their...
They has the monies.
They has the monies to properly do the research and development, decided that the air was somehow going to dissipate and move across shiny plastic to make this thing cool enough behind your TV where there's no air movement.
Nope.
Goodness. I mean, just absolute tunnel vision and not even being able to see reality. And that's what the problem with Google is they're in their little box and they want to tell us they want to control everything, and they want to advertise it to you and say it's the best thing in the world because they're an advertising company first, and that's really all that they're good at. Oh my gosh, I went way too far on Google.
Dude,
I am so unhappy with Google.
This turned out so much better than I could have planned.
This is what I didn't want to say.
Oh,
as
man.
I'm holding my Android phone and just being angry. As a user of Android from the very beginning. As a fan of open source APIs, and just... I'm sad. And this was just like the nail in the coffin for me. I mean, turning into Alphabet was part of it, and some things I'm definitely not going to go into in this podcast. But Stadia is the epitome of Google technology in my mind.
He's going to get so mad about this, he's going to buy an Apple phone.
It has crossed my mind. I've worked on too many Apple products as somebody that used to do tech support. I can't go back.
Oh,
maybe
man.
If they do like a massive change, I could see myself. But I've definitely gotten very far away.
Oh,
I'm not supposed to look at the rest of the stuff on this list, I don't think, that Rowdy's typed up.
Not quite yet. You can still look at some of the news stuff.
Okay, I can look down. All right, so
our next story, the very popular influencer and video game streamer Ninja has his own Fortnite skin now.
Next.
All right. One of my favorite games of the past few years, Plague Inc.
I love me some Plague Inc.
For those of you who don't know, it's they call it as a hyper realistic plague simulator.
Yes.
Which you'd be surprised. It actually is fairly
it takes
realistic in the way that it works. Like so basically you develop a bacteria or a virus or
there's even fungal spores.
Yeah, fungal spores, all kind of stuff. And you pick a country in the world where you start the outbreak and then you develop it to spread easier. So let's say you make it to where it can spread easier airborne. So then you develop a cough.
And
So
then
then it spreads
Madagascar shuts
easier.
down its entire borders whenever somebody in Brazil coughs funny.
Exactly.
That's the big meme for this game, by the way. If you did not know this, is Madagascar is like one of those countries where they don't let anything in. You got to
So,
keep the lemurs safe.
Plague Inc. sales have skyrocketed after the coronavirus outbreak.
Oh man, tell us about. So tell us about the coronavirus if you want to scare our listeners into hiding in a hole and spraying Lysol everywhere.
So, real quick, the coronavirus is a flu-like virus
Mm-hmm.
that is now spreading. As a virus, you cannot get rid of it with antibiotics. Antivirals are very weak,
Mm-hmm.
and there are none that could work on the coronavirus as of right now. The only way
Right.
to stop a virus is by building up immunities, which, since this is a new virus, new-esque virus,
Mhm.
there are no immunities just yet. So
Not to make people like go and live in a bubble real quick. Right now, it is centralized mostly to China and the Guangdong province, but however, they have quarantined about 56 million people, is what I saw recently.
Mhm.
The town, the outlying districts. It is it came from a meat market out there. There's labs nearby that do work on viruses and things like that.
Yeah, they say it's similar to like SARS and swine flu, bird flu.
I know the CDC right now is very active in trying to keep tabs on it. There have been some cases in the U.S. from people coming from China. It's just something to be mindful of. You know, if you're in a major city, just, wash your hands. And keep good care of yourself, please. Anyway.
But yeah, so in all seriousness about all this, Endemic Creations, the people who made the game, they want people to remember that it's just a game. Please don't take it seriously. And I would like to say, please seek treatment immediately. If you come in contact with someone who has recently been to China, if you have been to China yourself and you develop symptoms. And please inform the staff when you arrive of your symptoms.
So Rowdy is a paramedic in an ER, so just saying that's some good advice to
You'd be surprised how many people come in, cough all over the place, and then be like, "Oh yeah, I think I have the flu."
I might have had the flu from my sister or somebody, or I teach 3,000 children. Yeah, as somebody that teaches to crowds, essentially, it's something I'm concerned about a little bit. But side note that's kind of funny.
Wash your dang hands.
Yes, wash your dang hands. But I've actually written this. I used to do some work for NintendoEnthusiast.com back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a chance, I made a article. It was, of course, a satire article about amiibos and how they were taking over. And I called it Amiibola. So I ran the simulations, and eventually amiibos will collapse the world. However, luckily, the Nintendo did not keep providing as many opportunities to gather Amiibola into your system with the Switch. So we were saved by Nintendo. So my simulations were incorrect. They have not caused Germany to go into anarchy, nor have they collapsed all of Japan under a sea of links.
Oh, man.
Yes.
All right.
So
next story. We have the top-selling games of the decade in the U.S. from 2010 to 2019.
All right. What is the top-selling game? Or should we do backwards?
I'm going to do it backwards. I'm going to start at 20. And I'm going to go ahead and read it because it's all abbreviated, and I actually know what they are.
No clue. I do know there's a lot of fish on this one.
So at 20, we have Star Wars Battlefront.
Okay.
19, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
That's pretty good for a game that's not that old.
What is it, 2017 it came out? 18?
Yeah.
Number 18 is Destiny, the original one.
Yeah, not the one on the Stadia.
Yeah. Ugh. That's Destiny 2.
Yeah. Not Destiny's Child either. All right.
Oh. 17, Battlefield 4.
Oh.
16, Battlefield 1. 15, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Oh, that's not a fishing game. That's about CODs. Got it. Okay.
14, Mario Kart 8.
Heck yeah, man. Now, does that include both the deluxe version and the regular? I'd assume it does.
I'd assume it does.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Skyrim is next at
Skyrim.
13.
Yeah, and that game is everywhere, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You could play it on your Alexa.
Really?
Yeah.
Fancy.
It was a joke, but then they
decided to do it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because what else does Bethesda have to do other than releasing terrible games like Fallout 76?
Oh, God.
You know, or Skyrim again.
We're gonna have to do a whole Fallout 76 episode coming up soon.
Again. All right.
Where'd I leave off? Okay, so 13 was Skyrim. 12, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Because they do have a Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Oh, man. There's so much fish on this. I mean, Call of Duty games. Good Lord.
11, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Again?
10, Minecraft. 9, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. 8, Call of Duty World War II. 7, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice.
6, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Jeez.
5, Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Again.
4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Wow.
3, Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Who could have thought?
2, Call of Duty Black Ops.
So let me guess, the last one is another Call of Duty game?
No.
Oh.
Number 1 is Grand Theft Auto 5, and who did not see that coming?
Yeah, that was an easy one.
Okay, so
Man.
this is the part where...
You can see why they release Call of Duty every year now, though, can't you?
Oh, yeah. Because
Yeah.
of these top 20, 10 of them are Call of Duty games.
And there's been 10 years.
Yep.
Actually, there's, 9 years technically on this?
No.
No, it's 10 years.
From 2010
Yeah,
to
okay,
2019. That's 10 years.
10 years. It's a game every freaking year, at least averaged out. And you people are still buying this. I guess you enjoy it.
So now we are at the rumor section that I'm
not allowed to look
Travis
at.
that he was not able to look
So,
at the notes.
am I just supposed to shut down my tablet? Is that what happens? And I just...
Well, I'm going to read this little script that I
You're
wrote.
angering one of my dogs over there. I heard her growling. Belle, the pit bull, is grumpy.
So I had to do a lot of research because I didn't want to get any facts wrong about some of the stuff.
Okay.
Because
Fact rowdy.
the fan base that I'm about to talk about is not very forgiving when you get something wrong.
Uh-oh.
So,
All of them?
Yes.
Pokemon?
Well, no.
Okay.
Worse than Pokemon.
Worse than Pokemon.
Yes.
Oh, God. What could be worse than Pokemon fans?
So the rumor is there is either a remake or sequel to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic being made.
Oh, snizzy snaps.
Let's see here. So EA is rumored to be combining the stories of Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 so Disney can make the story canon. So, as everyone on this earth knows, except simply Travis,
Because I don't watch a lot of Star Wars.
when Disney acquired Lucasfilm, LucasArts, ILM, etc., basically everything from George Lucas, they threw out the Star Wars EU, which is the extended universe.
I thought it was the European Union.
No.
Okay.
So at the time, there were 1,100 Star Wars titles that had been published, including novels, comics, nonfiction, and magazines.
So when you say it's canon, they're just going to take all these stories, put them in a cannon, and shoot them at the wall, and whatever doesn't just vaporize is going to be now the story. Is this what you mean?
I mean, no, but yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen. Disney going to Disney.
So
Squeaky
they
chair,
announced
sorry.
in, was it 2014? Yes, 2014. They announced that the only stories that would remain canon besides the mainline movies were the animated Clone War movie and series, which is also being brought back for a final season. The first game was developed by BioWare, which became well known after that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something you may dig. The second game in the Knights of Republic series was developed by Obsidian at BioWare's suggestion.
Love me some Obsidian.
These games then spawned the MMO Star Wars The Old Republic, developed again by BioWare. The Knights of the Old Republic games were a great RPG series. I thoroughly enjoyed them. But what turned some people off is that the game took place approximately 4,000 years BBY.
Bubble. What does that mean?
So you know how
Before Yoda?
when we tell time, we have BC and AD.
Okay.
So
Baby Yoda.
in
Before Baby Yoda.
Before
I
BB
figured it
Yoda.
out. I know what he's saying now.
so in
With
the
the
Star
power
Wars
of memes.
in the Star Wars universe, the year 0
Okay.
is Star Wars: A New Hope, Episode 4, the first movie that came out.
Okay.
And BBY means before the Battle of Yavin, which happened in Episode 4. So this game took place 4,000 years prior to the first Star Wars movie. It delved a lot into the Sith, the Jedi, how everything started.
Okay. Wasn't Darth Maul in that game?
No.
I don't know. I never played it.
4,000 years prior, man.
So it's like everybody was completely new and there was nobody.
Darth Maul is like 30 BBY. This is like 4,000 BBY.
God, I'm so confused.
Exactly.
All right.
The new movies are like 30 ABY after the Battle of Yavin.
Yes.
So this is huge news. Can EA mess this up?
Absolutely they can.
But I recently played. What the crap was that game name?
I will say EA has started to change their ways a little bit. I don't know if it's because Bethesda has kind of gotten into their realm and they're like switching out like who's the worst gaming company lately and who is the most well adjacent. But I did hear that EA is starting to finally change up some things.
Well, that new Star Wars, was it Jedi Fallen Order? I really enjoyed it. It was
Yeah.
made by Respawn, which is an EA affiliate.
Gotcha.
So we'll see what happens with this. I'm super excited. Knights of the Old Republic is basically the game that got me into RPGs. We'll see where it goes, man. So it's either a sequel or a remake of the first two combined all into one. BioWare, Obsidian.
Could happen. So is this rumor?
This is rumored right now.
Okay, so this is all maybe.
This is all a maybe
Could
right
be
now.
true. All right.
All right. So I didn't do any upcoming releases just because we pretty much covered everything
Yeah.
in the first sections. But I guess we can go ahead and get to
Is there stuff I need to look on here? Am I supposed to look
No.
again? Okay.
It's
I'm in the dark, guys. I don't know. Rowdy is navigating this ship, and I don't know where we're going.
I guess we can finally get to the delays.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is it time for
It's
delays?
time for delays after the break.
It's time, finally, for the Delay-a-Palooza! You ready, guys? I'm ready for this. Everything's been delayed. That's it.
Everything.
Pretty much every game you were excited about that we probably talked about in the last episode, or both of mine and Rowdy's top 5 games, has pretty much been delayed.
Yep.
Let's start with the dates. We're going to have the original date that it was said and then the delayed date.
Yep.
Skull and Bones.
Now, do you remember what this game is?
No clue.
Okay. It's a Ubisoft game, and it's basically
Like Secret Society stuff?
no.
Oh, okay. So what I'm thinking of Skull and Bones, like or is it a pirate game?
It's a pirate game.
Okay, it's a pirate game.
But all of the combat is based off of the ship combat from Assassin's Creed. I don't know if you played Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag.
It is one I have not played.
The naval battles in it were really good.
I need to sit down and play it. It just hasn't happened.
So, needless to say, this game was supposed to come out in May of 2019.
So when's it releasing now?
It's a big question mark. Maybe April 2020, but that's not that far away, and we still don't have an exact date.
Do you know who's making it? Is it the Assassin's Creed people?
I mean, I know it's Ubisoft, but I don't know from what team.
Gotcha.
Next, Animal Crossing. We all know that was delayed. Delayed from November 2019.
Do not freak out, wives that are listening. Do not freak out. It is still supposedly releasing on March 20th.
Yes.
Keep your calendars marked. Go buy a second Switch for your poor husband or boyfriend so they can still game.
I will revolt.
Yeah,
this
if it's
game is
delayed
delayed.
again, we march to Japan?
Sure.
Or do we
I'll
go
walk.
was it Redmond, Washington that they're in now? No, they moved from Redmond, Washington.
Man, I'll go straight to Japan.
We'll go to Japan.
I'll go straight there.
We'll get there and
I'll be like, you
pole
listen
vault
here.
into it like an Animal Crossing character.
You listen here, Shigeru Miyamoto.
You gonna release this game now. Do not delay it.
I mean, we now have 2 Switches at my house because of this game. I
Mhm.
bought it a few months early so that I didn't buy everything in March. Because also released in March,
Oh!
Doom Eternal. Well, Doom Eternal was supposed to come out October 2019. It is now March 20th of this year, the same day as Animal Crossing.
And very similar gameplay.
I hate when developers release games of the same genre on the same day. I mean, come on, guys. Animal Crossing and Doom on the same day? How am I supposed to tell them apart?
Seriously, that's a hard one. I can't tell. But have you ever seen those animals come back? Whenever they leave your island, they go to hell.
Oh my God.
That's where they all go. They go to Doom. They get mutated. You have to take them out.
Oh, man.
Same exact game, right?
All right. So next, Last of Us Part 2. It was supposed to come out in February of 2020. Been delayed a little bit. Not much.
Un
May
poquito.
29th.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No, not too bad.
This game I'm really unhappy about. So, Watch Dogs Legion.
Mm-hmm.
Rowdy informed me last episode that it has been delayed. It was on my honorable mentions for next year, like anticipated games.
Yep.
And do they even have a date yet? It's 2021 now?
Yes, that's all they have right now. So I put basically just Ubisoft games besides Skull and Bones because we have Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods and Monsters all being delayed to an undeterminate date in 2021.
I wonder if that's just because next gen is coming in and they might be running into some issues with the new systems, might have to reprogram some things.
So possibly, but at the same time, Ubisoft did not have a good 2019 because of that. Oh, what was the name of that game? It was like a.
I mean, there was the.
I don't remember. It was like the third person shooter. I don't know what it is, Rowdy. I have no clue what you're talking about. Why are we talking like old men? I don't know, man. It's Tom. It was a Tom Clancy.
It's on Game Pass and it's about to leave. Something I think. It's some Tom Clancy game. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It didn't do well. It was supposed to be like their big game. It didn't do well.
Ubisoft sell bad. It's all you just need to know.
So
The Division.
2020. No.
Oh, okay.
The Division actually did pretty well for them.
Heartland, is that the same people? Or is that THQ? Is THQ even a thing anymore?
Yeah, there's 2 different THQs now.
Oh, okay. I was confused. All I know is that they need to bring back WCW versus NWO Revenge
Oh, man, I need to
in
look up.
HD,
There was a wrestling
4K.
game that I saw yesterday on YouTube that I need to look up again. I forget the name of it. I think it's something you would dig.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So next, Final Fantasy VII Remake was pushed back 1 month.
That's not bad.
From March 3rd to April 10th. I mean, but at the same time, this game's been in development
Forever?
for over 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The more I know you've looked into it a lot. I know we've done some deep dives on it. I wonder if it's going to still have the heart and soul of the original game. The more I look into it, the less it seems like it's there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but it would probably be good. Now, one game that is the new Avengers game. Now, this Avengers game is the one that's coming on the PS4?
It's PS4, Xbox One.
Okay, so this is the one
I
that's
don't know about
cinematic,
PC.
right?
Yeah, this is the one that's basically like, how do they describe it? It's like a games as a service where you play as the Avengers.
Yeah. You go around and recreate stories or play old stories from the comics, and
yeah,
it's like a movie.
Yeah.
So that's been pushed back, it seems.
Yep, from where was it? May 15th to September 4th.
Wow.
I still don't know if I'm going to play this game though.
I know on our episode we had recently, Gunslinger was super excited about it. I think definitely has appeal to people that want to experience that cinematic universe.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, I really want to experience that, but they keep saying games as a service.
That's scary.
Yes.
Games should not be a service.
Because that's like Destiny. I really like Destiny, but I don't want my Marvel game to be like that.
That is true. Money, money, money.
So let's see here. All right.
Oh, this has got to be the biggest disappointment for everybody.
Cyberpunk 2077. Supposed to come out April 16th. Pushed back to September 17th. And the multiplayer is not, they say not to expect a multiplayer before 2022.
Is it bad that I didn't know there was going to be multiplayer in this?
I don't think it's been big news.
Okay. So that's going to be disappointing for some people, but it makes sense. When we were talking about these recently on the upcoming games, and all this stuff was like announced this month that everything's being pushed back.
Yep.
That's pretty big news to push a game back that far into September. I almost wouldn't be surprised if they go even further with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk has turned into one of those games to where it is so hyped. It has just turned into this meme craziness that if they don't do it right on day one, it's going to lose a lot of people.
If it's not breathtaking.
If it's not, So that is one game that I think they just got to get right or it's going to die in a fire.
Speaking of dying, the next game.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of dying.
Is Dying Light 2. This was one of my top 5s for the year.
Yes,
and
it was.
Guess what happened? It has been pushed from an indeterminate spring 2020 date to nothing.
I'm going to read Rowdy's notes on here real quick. Blank, 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 blank is what he wrote. I can't say what it was.
There are a lot of times in our notes that I write tons of curse words and things that we can't say on here.
Yep.
There is an indefinite release date on it now. So I don't even know what to talk about, man. Like, if they cancel it, like, I swear to God, man.
Rowdy needs to see your manager.
I will cause a scene.
He's going to cause a scene.
I will demand
up in here.
I will demand.
He's going to put on a Karen wig.
A free medium Pepsi.
Yes.
I don't even like Pepsi.
You better comp his meal. All right. Oh, man, this last one, I know everybody's been waiting for that game.
Yep.
Oh, everybody has just been so excited about it and totally really has the ability to play this and really want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
What is it, Rowdy?
Iron Man VR. Supposed to come out in winter 2019. Now coming out May 15th, 2020.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I can't wait to see how many people get too sick to play that game.
Dude, there was a reason why I put that one last.
All right, guys. So that's about it. That is our January newscast for 2020. We will have these marked to where you can click a different section. I guess I should have mentioned that at the beginning. But thanks for listening in and for checking out the show. We've had a lot of positive feedback in the last couple episodes, especially since we've been doing weeklies. So we appreciate y'all coming in, checking out the show, sharing it with people, and for all the positive reviews we've been getting on Apple Podcast and all these other places. We're finally getting back to where we were before Google essentially flipped us off and kicked us in the behind.
We should probably
September.
Stop talking so bad about Stadia.
No, man, at this point,
bunch of buttheads.
We're making it without them. I'm just going to go ahead and say what I want. I don't care about the algorithm anymore because they don't send them to us anyway.
I also forgot, I need to give a shout out to Casey, who was helping us out with the video.
Oh, man, we drank some of his coffee earlier.
Yes.
It is good.
So check out Adam's Coffee Company on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Casey is helping us a lot with this video that we're going to release coming up soon. He also has started his own YouTube gaming channel. Forgot to tell you about this.
Yeah.
He has posted it's a gameplay video of the first 30 minutes of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty awesome. Then Travis, myself, and Casey did about a 30-minute video of a game that came out on Switch called Akuto Showdown.
So that's already out?
It's up now.
Oh, okay, cool. We'll have to share it on the Twitters.
And then me and Casey also did a video for the first 30 minutes of River City Girls.
I don't even know what that is.
Do you remember River City Ransom? On the NES?
Yeah.
It's based off of that whole series, but River City Ransom, you played as the guys and you were trying to get your girlfriends back.
Oh.
Well, in this one, you play as the girlfriends and your boyfriends have been captured.
Oh, snap.
So we played through the first 30 minutes of that. It's basically just us playing the game and then ridiculous commentary in the background.
Which, I mean, is every Let's Play. It's just fun to watch people.
I totally forgot to say the name of his channel. I just kept saying, go check it out.
Yeah, go check out that channel that we don't know about. What is it called?
Good for Nothing Gaming.
Good for Nothing Gaming's a fellow lamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff back and forth with Casey on that channel and drinking a lot of the coffee that he makes.
Heck yeah, man. All right, guys. I think that is it for the day. Rowdy, you got anything else?
That's going to be it, man.
All right, guys. We will catch you next time. Make sure to share this with somebody. If you're listening on the YouTubes, hit a like, share bells, whatever they say to do. That's going to help us send things our way that Google won't send us anyway because we keep dogging on Stadia. And thank you for listening to the official podcast of the Lamers and Working Class Gamers, the Lamer Gamers Podcast. I'm out. What about you, Rowdy?
You guys have a good one. That's it.